Yo, what's the deal, man? It's your boy, Mr. Livin Wit The Mahands, and I'm back with another story time. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be the time where I was telling you, you know what I'm saying, where I used to join, you know what I'm saying, join in to do music and stuff like that. Some of y'all may heard the story, you know what I'm saying, back in 2000 and I think like 17 or whenever I did it before, but I'm gonna let you guys know the whole story, you know what I mean? So before I started though, man, I need y'all to like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Do those 4 things for me, and I'm gonna get back with y'all to show that same love, you know what I mean? So back when I was doing music, you know what I mean, it was me, my mom, my stepdad, and my ex at the time. She was there, you know what I'm saying? So we all at the club. But before I had got to the club, I was, you know what I'm saying, I was in my own place and was steady, like, you know what I'm saying, writing music and stuff, trying to get everything, you know, set and settled before I can get on stage or whatever. And I had to, you know, remember my lyrics that night. So that Wednesday or Thursday night, I go to the studio because my homeboy, he was like, man, he said, I'm gonna need you at the studio Friday about 3 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, I'll be there. So I get there, I get to the studio, there's a whole bunch of people there, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing before I can get into the booth and do my thing. So I did my, you know what I'm saying, I did my song, which I had to remember because me and my cousin, which I'm going to bring that situation up in a little bit, it was me and my cousin's song that we did, you know what I mean? So I did the song, I did my verse. My cousin's verse was already, you know what I'm saying, was already laid down. So now it's my part to get in there and, you know what I'm saying, lay my part down. So I go in there, I do my thing, and I was like, I was back out. So now, here it is. My homeboy, he was telling me, he says, man, he said, I'm going to put you in the showcase. I says, okay, when, what time, and where? So, we get to the club. I had to go to Bay City that night. So, it was my mama, my stepfather, and my ex. We all go to the club that night, and I get in front of the door, you know what I'm saying, and my homeboy was like, he was like, man, who's all these cats with you? I said, man, these my, you know what I'm saying, these my team, you know what I'm saying, my whole street team. And he was like, man, I did not know that you was dealing with T.O.N., this and that, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So I'm like, yeah, this is my crew, you know what I'm saying? So we was all ganged up that night, and he was like, man, look, he says, have you heard from your cousin? And I'm like, no. I said, I've been trying to call him since Monday, you know what I'm saying, to let him know that we had to be at the club at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? For those who did or are still doing music, you know how you go to checkout time or no, I think it's like checkout time, or if you had to get to the club early to recite your lyrics and you got to remember the night before the show. So I get on stage, I do my thing or whatever before the showtime was there. So he was like, well, way before that. So my boy was like, he said, man, have you heard from your cousin? And I'm like, no. I said, I've been trying to call him since Monday. I ain't getting no answer from him. I didn't text him, called him by at least 3 or 4 times. And I even, you know what I'm saying, I even tried to email him. So I'm like, man, my cousin ain't hitting me back. I don't know what's going on. So he was like, man, look. He said, do you know your cousin's verse? And I'm like, no, I only know my verse. So he was like, he said, look, this is what we gonna do. He said, this is what we gonna do. He said, look, I'm gonna put you on stage. You gonna do your part. And you gonna be, you know what I'm saying, right on back out. You know what I'm saying? And that was the same night that, you know what I'm saying, that I had got paid that same night when I was on stage. And so about 9 or 10 o'clock that night during the show, You know what I'm saying? Everybody had to be there. They was doing like comedy and singing, dancing, or whatever they, you know what I'm saying, whatever their talents was. And when they came to me, I did about 3 or 4 songs that night. And then when I got off stage, my cousin finally hits me back. Alright? So, this what happened. My cousin finally hits me back, and I'm like, what's up, cuz? He was like, man, how the show go? I'm like, dude, how the show go? I said, dude, it went alright. I said, man, what's going on with you? I said, man, I've been trying to call you since Monday, this net with whoop, and you ain't been hitting me back. I said, man, everybody been wondering, was you coming to the show in Bay City, which is here in Michigan? I said, everybody been wondering, was both you and me gonna be on the stage at the same time doing our thing? And he was like, man, that's what I want to talk to you about. He said, man, the night I was supposed to came, he said him and his lady, I don't know if they still together or not, but he said him and his lady got into it. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that, man. I do not want to hear that shit, because you was supposed to been there that night. You know what I'm saying? To support me, not only me, but you and me on the stage. So I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that. So now, I told him, I said, man, dude, I said, look, cuz, I'm going to call you back as soon as I get home. As soon as I get home. So, I get on, like I said, I got on stage, I did my thing, and I was back, you know what I'm saying, I was gone back out, whatever, you know what I mean? So, since then, since the show, you know what I'm saying, since after the show, I didn't hear nothing else from him. He ain't called me and say, hey, cuz, do you want to get together and do a couple of tracks together, man? And, you know what I'm saying, maybe get a couple shows here and there, this and that, whoop, the whoop, the whoop. And I'm like, nah. So, like, I'm not hearing nothing from him. You know what I'm saying? And it's been some odd years since, you know what I'm saying, since the situation. So, I got home that night, because my homeboy, he dropped me off, because he was dropping everybody off and stuff like that. And we was in the SUV. We was like maybe about 10 to 15 people deep. You know what I mean? So he drops me off. I'm at home, pissed. I'm mad as hell because, you know what I'm saying, he played me that night. You know what I'm saying? My cousin was supposed to be there to support me, man, and had my back. We was doing music together. You know what I mean? So, and the dude who was producing my music at the time, his name is Convict, but he goes by the name of Charles, but he called himself Convict. So, after that, a few days after that, my cousin hits me up and he's like, look, man, he said, look, I'm going to put you on to this dude named Convict. He's real good with music and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, this and that, whoop the whoop, or whatever. So I'm like, alright. I said, well, give me his phone number. I'm gonna hit him up and I'm gonna see, you know what I'm saying, what the deal is. So I get online, I hit him up, and I'm like, yo, I said, man, I heard you do music, this and that. And he was like, yeah. He says, man, he said, what they call you? I said, man, my name is Young Tizzle. He said, alright. He said, well, look. He said, what are you doing Wednesday about 3 o'clock? I said, well, I ain't got no plans right now. I said, I think Wednesday I should be alright. He said, well, look, I'm going to come and get you. We're going to go back to Bay City. And we're going to go to my crib. We're going to go to my crib. And I'm going to put you in the studio. I got a studio downstairs in my basement. So I'm like, alright. So get to his crib. I did a song called Gangsters Taking Over. For those who've heard that song, if you haven't heard it, go to my playlist and it's going to say Tizzle's Music. It's going to say Gangsters Taking Over, and then I did a song about my auntie. Yeah, I did The Night at the Club. Let me bring that back. The Night at the Club, I did 3 songs. Well, no, I did 2 songs. Well, no, 3. I did the song with me and my cousin. I did the song about my auntie, God rest her soul, because my aunt, she passed away on cancer. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my auntie Drill. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, I did a song about her. And then I did a song called Real Gangsters Taking Over. When I did that, everybody was feeling me that night. They was like, man, we feeling you. You know what I'm saying? We like the music that you dropping. You know what I'm saying? They was giving me handshakes and dapping me up, and you know what I'm saying, giving me their demos and giving me their business cards and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, I ain't never did no stuff like this. And like, you know what I'm saying? And it was like I was already being, you know what I'm saying, I was already being noticed. I was, you know what I'm saying, I was getting to know everybody. Hold on, y'all. My bad, y'all. I had a phone call. But now, back to the story. So, I did 3 songs that night. I did a song with me and my cousin. I did a song about my aunt. And then I did a song by myself called Gangsters Taking Over, featuring nobody. You know what I mean? So, dude was like, he says, man, he said, I don't know what's going on with you and your cousin. He said, man, but that night was not right. He said, man, look, you better off being by yourself. You know what I mean? So after that, I stopped doing music and I got to doing other stuff. You know what I mean? And I really had stopped doing music because like when my kids came into play, that's when I just stopped doing everything, man. I stopped going to clubs. I stopped doing music. And I was going to clubs like every Friday, every Saturday night, trying to get a feel in to, you know what I mean, to get back on the music scene and stuff like that, but it just, you know, it just wasn't working at the time. So I mean, back then, so years later, let's fast forward. So years later, I got on the YouTube thing. So this is when now I'm still here in Michigan or I was in Atlanta. And no, I was in Atlanta. Come to think about it. So I was in Atlanta, and me and my daughter had started doing YouTube videos, which, you know, me and my daughter Jacqueline. And I was messing around on my phone one day and was trying to figure out how to, you know, upload and record and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? But I didn't know how to do all that until I started, like, you know, messing around with different stuff on my phone and how to record and upload and stuff like that. So when I got really good at it, that's when I was like, okay, well, this can be like, you know, my second hobby and stuff I like to do. You know what I mean? So now, with me doing that, I started, like, you know what I'm saying, growing my fan base on YouTube, which, if y'all have been to my page, I'm still growing that page. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come through and show you boys some love. So what, like right now, what I'm doing on there, like I'm doing live stream gaming, I do poetry night, I do story time, I do cooking shows, I do topics, I do episodes, documentaries, and stuff like that. Speaking of that, I have a documentary already done up. It's called Cooling Out. You know what I'm saying? Me and Mr. Livin Wit the Hendersons, we actually did the first Cooling Out documentary together. You know what I'm saying? Big shout outs to him too. You know what I'm saying? He has a YouTube channel that he's doing also. So big ups to him. Big ups to Livin Wit the Colemans, aka my wife. Big ups to Livin Wit the Hendersons. Big ups to Brady Gang Collection, which is my sister-in-law. For those who don't know, she will be doing some recording too. As you know, my wife's gonna be doing some content also with my help, and my kids. Big, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to them too. My daughter, she has like a little YouTube thing that she's doing. She's doing like little, you know, like little snippets from like TikTok or whatever, and things of that nature. But now let's get to when I was doing YouTube. So now we in Atlanta, and me and my daughter was like going around town, just, you know, recording like, you know, a lot of stuff that was in Atlanta. We were going to downtown Centennial Park, Six Flags, downtown underground. And for those who don't know what the underground is, y'all go to my videos and y'all check out where, you know what I'm saying, when I did some videos up there. Atlanta is a huge place, man. If y'all ever be in Atlanta, man, Atlanta is the place to be and everything like that, you know what I mean? So now, this was when now I'm getting really good at uploading videos and dropping little videos and stuff like that. So once I got good at it, I was like, okay, well, since I'm doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna drop this. So when I started dropping like little videos, I was like, oh, okay, well, I wonder if I can just start, making my own intros, my backgrounds, my titles, and, you know what I'm saying, anything and everything that I just started learning to do, you know what I mean? Because I took broadcasting back in high school when I was living in Birmingham. I was going to a school called Booker T. Washington Carver High School, which I think was in Birmingham, if I'm not mistaken. We was doing like little commercials on, video cameras and seeing how to, record from different angles and stuff like that. But with that being said, we was doing like a lot of videos, me and my daughter, possibly myself. I was doing a lot of recording too, you know what I'm saying, when she wasn't around at the time, you know what I mean? So, I was doing a lot of recording, man, and everybody was getting to know who I was in the YouTube community and things of that nature, you know what I mean? So now we gonna get to where we was in Atlanta for Six Flags. We did a Six Flags video. Oh yeah, go check them out too. We was doing a Six Flags video and we did one through Christmas. So me and my daughter, we were in Atlanta through Christmas time. Hold on, y'all. Alright, we back. So what I was saying was we were in Atlanta on Christmas. So me and my daughter, I was taking her to Six Flags for Christmas. And this lady, hold on. Alright, y'all, my bad. But no, me and my daughter, we was in Six Flags on Christmas. And this lady was on the same bus where we was riding on. This lady gets up and she looks at both me and my daughter and goes, "Your daughter look familiar." So I looked at crazy. I was like, "What?" She was like, "Oh, no, not like that." She said, "Haven't y'all did a video here in Atlanta?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "We just did a video here a couple weeks ago." And she was like, "What do you guys this channel?" So we was called Livin Wit The Mahands at the time. And oh yeah, that's my wife in the back, y'all. So we were in Atlanta at the time when I did the video. So the lady was like, she said, "What's you guys this channel?" We was called Livin Wit The Mahands at the, at the first time. She also said, she was like, when she heard the name, she was like, she said, "My little sister watches y'all." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool," or whatever. And she asked us when was the next time we was gonna be dropping content, and I was like, "I don't know." I said, "Probably in the next month or two." And that's when everything started like growing, over and over. And like every time I go to dropping a video, it was like when we was walking around in Six Flags at that time, it was like, man, it never stopped. It went from one person to another person to another person, on and on and on and so forth. And everybody was asking me what kind of content do I drop on YouTube, and how many subscribers I had, and things of that nature. You know what I mean?
Mama, where's my block?
And hold on, y'all.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all, my bad. But where was I at? Oh, we was doing a video back in Atlanta up in Six Flags. And like I was saying, it went from one person to ask me what kind of content I was dropping. I was telling everybody our name and what kind of content that we always drop, you know what I mean? So, in which we still are doing, you know what I mean? So right now, we're in the 1,000 mark, which it took us a while to get there, you know what I mean? Which, you know, it's a slow process, but we gonna get there though. We just hit that 1,000 mark, and which it took a while. I'm talking about, it took a while, man, and it's not no overnight process neither. Some say it is, but me myself is really not. It's you know, it's a slow grind process, man. You just gotta be consistent about what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like I was telling my wife when she first started, which with my help, she got a couple of videos that we also done together. You know what I mean? And which, you know what I'm saying, we have one main channel, which is Livin Wit The Mahands channel, our main channel, and then she has one, which we're actually still working on. My cousin, Livin With The Hendersons, he has one, which he's working on his. And Bratty Gang Collection, she also does content also. And but yeah, man, if y'all like more story times that I always have done, y'all know what to do, man. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. With that being said, peace, love, and respect, man. I'm out.